I just got this package in from DLT Trading. I'm going to go ahead and open it up with the good old Spyderco Delica. Okay, so we've got a Castillo knife here. These are from Spain, and these are right now being sort of cleared out. I think fire sale was the term I heard. Selling these things at DLT. Um, about Castillo, we have a passion for Spanish-made cutlery and for keeping the tradition alive in the region of Castilla-La Mancha. Spanish knife-making heritage took shape in the Middle Ages and continues to this day. By combining both form and function, we aim to share this story by paying homage to the region and meeting the modern demands of everyday use. Albacete is marked on the map there. I suppose that's where these come from. This model is the Torre in curly birch. Right now, DLT has several different models in different materials and different sizes. They're all lockbacks, and I don't think any of them has a pocket clip. This is really attractive curly birch. Pinned construction with brass pins. Some nice detail on the liners there on the spine side. Kind of looks like file work, but isn't. So you might be familiar with birch as a handle material for knives. It's very commonly used by Opinel, but this is just regular birch, not curly birch, right? So this is not the same thing. Looks quite a bit different, even though it's the same species. Now I believe we'll also have a nice pocket slip in here. Yeah. And some other goodies. Okay, so we get a Castillo Knives sticker, a little brochure with some cool history, interesting photographs of these guys. Some days I feel like I've got a few too many knives in my pockets. It comes with a sharpening stone. Looks like it's got two different grits on it. A Ballistol wipe. And a leather slip. Embossed with the Castillo name and logo. Nice. And it's got this leather strap on it. All right. So no thumb stud or hole or even a nail nick. Just got to pinch it open. Got some pretty aggressive jimping right there. Comfortable grip. It's in Sandvik 14C28N. which is a steel that will be familiar to many of you. A lot of Kershaw knives in the contemporary lineup are in 14C28N. It is a Swedish steel made by Sandvik. It is a slight evolution of 13C26, which is Sandvik's take on AEBL, which is a stainless steel designed for straight razors or razor blades. Most straight razors are made out of carbon steel, but they can be made out of stainless steel, and AEBL was intended for that purpose. Okay, so looks like we've got a hollow grind, and we're going to call that a drop point. I suppose that's a drop point, not a straight clip point, but it's a pretty acute tip. They do have a more gentle pattern with a gentler drop to the point, and they also have another clip pattern that's a little different than this. And they have some in micarta handle scales and some bigger ones and some smaller ones. Actually, I think the ones that are larger than this are sold out at this point. But they do have this size and some smaller patterns. And they're a really reasonable price. They're under $70 for each model that's left, I believe. And that's a DLT Trading. Yeah. So how does this compare? Well, anytime you've got a lockback with wooden handles, you know, the first thing that comes to my mind is the Buck 110, and in this case the 112 is probably closer in size. I've got a 112 drop point, which is a variation you can get if you order directly from Buck. Normally it's a clip point. Quite a bit heavier with the brass bolsters. We've got rosewood scales on this. Again, a hollow grind, a little higher grind. This is 420 HC steel. I think most people would prefer 14C28N as an everyday carry steel. Buck does a really good job with a heat treat on their 420 steel, but 14C28N, regardless of heat treat, should be a better all-around steel. Very tough, but also holds an edge respectably, and it's stainless. Ergonomically, these two are similar. I mean, the Buck is more substantial. Doesn't have that positive jimping though on the spine, which is a nice feature of the Castillo. Great big pivot. Much smaller pivot on the Buck. But, you know, if we're setting aside the Buck, we already looked at the, from France, the Opinel. The birch one, rather, the number 6 birch is rather underwhelming next to this Castillo, which looks quite a bit fancier. This is with carbon steel, but we get a little closer if we upgrade the materials to an olive wood like this one, or an oak like this one. I think these are both number 8s from Opinel. These do lock, but they have this kind of strange ring lock. Quite a bit thinner blade stock. These are also Sandvik steel, but it's 12C27. Yeah, 12C27, which is a little bit lower on the totem pole than 14C28N. A little more budget steel. I was also tempted to compare this with some, German knives. We've got things like this Puma. Got a couple of Pumas here. They're kind of similar size. The fit and finish on the Pumas is a little nicer, I'd say. Not a lot nicer, and they are a lot more expensive. Of course, these are liner locks. It probably isn't a fair comparison to put this $70 knife up against a $300 Boker, but why not? Right, that's a lockback. Similar size. This is in 440C steel, right? Which is, I would take 440C steel over 14C28N, although I wouldn't consider it a major upgrade. And then with this slips and these sort of exotic woods, I was reminded a little bit of some fox knives that come with these nice leather slips and come in exotic woods. These are two different designs by Robert Terzuola. We've got a zircote, and a what's the other one? Bocote. A zircote wood and a bocote wood. And those are N690 steel, so Bowler Austrian steel. Probably a step up from the 14C28N, but not a huge step up. These are a little bigger. These are 3.5-inch blades. Yeah, it's a nice little knife. And I think a reasonable bargain. If you hurry, you can still find several to choose from at DLT. I don't have any special code or anything to give you to get a discount or to give me any credit. I don't get anything from you shopping at DLT, but wanted to let you know that this pretty cool knife is available at a fantastic price. Go check it out. Thanks.